Hey, what's up guys, Ruff here. So today we're going to be going over another massive controversy facing Nijisanji, leaving a lot of people demanding answers from the agency, and as of recording this video, there has been no official response to what's been going on. Now, it's no secret, thanks to financial reports from Nijisanji, that the English branch only brings in a small amount of their revenue. As you can see right here, this is the Japanese side of the revenue generation, and this is the English side, much smaller. Despite that, the majority of the headaches for the company have come from the English branch, and the latest one is coming from a recent Nijisanji Liver, Twisty Amano Zako. She has been mired in controversy over the past couple of days, and as you can see, it's not going very well. She recently had her account privated, as you can see right here, and also her entire YouTube account wiped clean. And on top of that, as reported by Rima here, she's been removed from their website as a listed talent, while people like Aster Arcadia are still listed. We'll talk about him later. But to sum that up, it's very clear without an official announcement yet, she has been fired. This is no surprise to people who have been following this situation. It's not that surprising whatsoever, but that is what is going on right now. And I talk about these events today and all the updates, knowing full well that Nijisanji is very trigger happy with the copyright strike option on YouTube, as Kyo had suffered many months ago. They took down dozens of his videos with a false set of copyright strikes. They love to strike down criticism, but I really don't care. If Nijisanji wants that thunder, I guess come and get it. But anyways, recently, Twisty, on her past life account, Delulu, now for those who are not familiar with the VTuber terminology, past life account means the account they used before they joined the VTuber agency, like Nijisanji. This is her former account, and she was streaming on this recently, which is a very bad sign. Typically, when you're in a corporation, you do not stream on your past life account, and if they do any sort of activity on that account, that is a very bad sign of what's going on. And there was a video a few days ago uploaded that shared some very disparaging statements shared by Delulu/Twisty in a leaked Discord call. As you can see, that video has been taken down by YouTube for violating their terms of service. Now, if you want the full video, I reacted to it a few days ago. It's still up on my end. And in that video, to sum it up and what she said, basically she said Indian people smell brown and they're stinky. And she said that basically all men are mentally ill and deserve to die. She also used some terms describing trans people that rhyme with Janny, that I can't say on YouTube. And then she also called her fans mentally ill and shamed them for not giving her enough money and not encouraging her to stream more thanks to those donations. Now, think of that what you will. The reason I made this video is not to wag my finger at Twisty and say, you're a bad person, and also to say to her fans, you shouldn't support her. You can do whatever you want. The reason I react to this is just to cover some drama and also to say a very agreeable statement that, well, because of this leaked Discord call with a lot of this stuff, this disparaging statements coming out, she's going to get fired. That was the very basic premise of this video that I made a few days ago, and well, that's what's seemingly happening. We haven't gotten an official confirmation, but that is the very objective reality that is before us right now. And since that video, Delulu, on her past life account here, Delulu/Twisty, has been very active and has made a lot of moves responding to that leaked Discord call, beginning with this apology we talked about in my previous video that did not go well. This did not go well. You can see it has 4,000 likes and about 1,600 retweets, most of them quotes that are negative. The apology itself, to sum it up very quickly, it starts off decent. I think she does a decent job in the first couple of paragraphs, then it just goes off the rails. She even goes into a part where she says, as someone who lives in America, even just in 2025 alone, I have witnessed many injustices towards marginalized communities. And she starts like virtue signaling about that type of stuff, and also says that her use of disparaging statements about various groups was out of a source of overprotection. It just didn't really work well. And in a very ill-advised decision, she decided the next day to make a full 30-minute stream, making a second set of apologies with the stream title, A Sincere Apology and My Truth. And as you can see, in true Nijisanji fashion, it is a black screen stream. Now, of course, it's 32 minutes, and also the audio on this is insufferable. It is so low volume that even like trying to get some clips and then boosting the audio, you have to do it so hard that it makes it like bass boosted, and it like will hurt your eardrums if you're listening to it. So in the spirit of that, I'm going to simply summarize the main points, right? So she described many different things, beginning with the Discord call that was leaked, saying she apologizes for her disgusting behavior and all that sort of stuff. And she talks about how she had a very rough time with Nijisanji, and that was something that she mentioned in the Discord call that was leaked, that she was having a very tough time with the company, and I definitely believe that's the case given everything that's going on, and that she even asked to quit at one point that was not given to her. And also, she says a lot of this is public because she's tried to work things out privately with the company and just hasn't worked out. And on top of that, she brought up a lot about a current Nijisanji Ian Liver, Aster Arcadia. And this is a situation that is very, very deep, and we'll get into more details in just a bit. But she goes into details trying to allege that he has very manipulative behavior, and that he targets new female talents in the agency as well as other agencies as well, and tries to get them to come to Japan to come see him. And when they reject those offers, he gets very angry with him, or angry with them. And she tried back in July to spark an investigation with Nijisanji to look into some of his behavior, his alleged behavior, and nothing really came of it. And she even played a clip of an audio call with him, which honestly is not super productive in any sort of a way. It doesn't really dig that deep, but he honestly sounds pretty weird in the clip, but that's all we really have for right now. But also, she talks about another situation where a co-worker of hers at Nijisanji leaked one of her new outfits, which for those not familiar with the VTubing scene, new outfits are a really big deal. So when someone leaks something like that, it's spoiling a major event for their channel. And also, she would wrap this whole thing up by basically saying she's sorry for everything and she's owning up to her own past actions and stuff like that. That was really the statement until about a half a day later, she added a pinned comment, which would somewhat contradict a lot of the things she said in the statement. Again, ill-advised. I don't know why she did this. But she says in number 1, she has full receipts and Discord logs of everything going on. And if she does, I hope she shares this. She has nothing to lose. She's clearly getting fired from this company. And I hope if she has evidence of the things she's claiming about this company and some of the members, please share it. It'd be very valuable. And then number 2, she says, quite frankly, I don't care if what I said upsets people. I don't regret my words. Which is like a direct contradiction to the 2 previous apologies. But anyways, number 3, don't begin to assume you know anything about my job, contract, or terms when you have absolutely no idea outside of, oh well, this person said this. Sounds like the voice actor for Paimon when they're saying, you know nothing about what goes on at these unions and the voice acting scene. You're too dumb as a random citizen. Like, we understand, like, the things look pretty bad on all ends here, but anyways. Number 4, she says, I wanted to leave in August. I wanted to leave again 4 months ago. I believe her 100%. It seems like she had a very bad relationship with Nijisanji. And then number 5, she says, I don't hate all men. I think they're all mentally ill. But so are all women. And so am I. So I would have just left this one out. I don't think that's helping anything. Number 6, I have no issues with Brave Group. She mentioned another VTuber agency. I don't think people really care too much about that. But number 7, in quotes, you're deflecting blame. 2 people can make mistakes at the same time. 100%. I agree with this. This is like the main takeaway from everything, right? She definitely made mistakes, okay? But I think Nijisanji's making a lot of mistakes too. And the things that are being alleged about their company, some of their talents, and the things they might be hiding based on these allegations are much more serious than a leaked Discord call where some mean things were said about various groups. I agree with this 100%. Again, I'm not just wagging my finger at Twisty/Delulu trying to judge her and all this stuff. People can support her or not. I don't care. I just said that the thing she said was going to get her fired. But I think the most interesting thing about the leaked call was some of her comments about Nijisanji. And it's something that I think lines up with a lot of the statements of former talents. But anyways, I didn't know this. I didn't see this until now. It looks like number 8 is gone, or was this supposed to be number 8? Whatever. But number 9 is a very controversial one. Okay? She says, number 9, I will never apologize for being a lolicon. I will continue to do incestuous lolly roleplay. Yeah, the thing is, I think of all the things people were mad about, this was probably not something that needed to be addressed. There's only 2 reactions people have to this statement, right? They're either saying, based, or they're saying, you're a predator. Okay? And that's a lot of the Nijisanji fan base. They're antis. That's the way they act. I would have left this out of the 9 commandments she made here, because it's really not that important. It's not a hill to die on. It's just more divisive stuff. But anyways, that was the set of comments in her pinned comment. And yeah. So that brings us to the inevitable result of this video. Aster Arcadia, a fellow Nijisanji English liver, who has had a very tumultuous couple of months. And a lot of people are looking at this situation and the very obvious firing of Twisty as a way to protect Aster. And the company has a very documented history of picking favorites, right? That is something that is very obvious from a outside perspective, as well as based on some of the experiences shared by people who were in the company at one point. And a lot of people are looking at this and saying, are they silencing her to protect him? And you can see, it's been 6 months since his last stream. And at this point, it's like, does anyone at Nijisanji actually stream? But a lot of the controversy really began with this leaked Discord screenshot that has been confirmed, allegedly, by multiple sources at this point, where he's talking to a fellow Nijisanji InLiver, Scarlet, and he just looks like a manipulative weirdo. Honestly, just a gigantic weirdo, a very aggressive person. And poor Scarlet, please free her from this organization and their fans, because she, about a year ago, was canceled by her own fans for eating Starbucks. Yes, they got mad at her for trying cakes at a Japanese Starbucks because apparently that was on the boycott list, because people believed supporting Starbucks would genocide children in Palestine. And the irony of that, of course, being YouTube is also on that boycott list, so the people that were watching her stream were also violating the same boycott list that they were using to chastise her and say that she deserves to be deplatformed or game-ended or the other disgusting things that they said. But yeah, free her. But anyways, we have this. It sparked a lot of rumors and controversies that were seemingly, allegedly, confirmed by this video uploaded 6 months ago by False ID, where he shared some testimony from a secret Nijisanji InLiver, which I think based on circumstances, it's very obvious it's Twisty/Delulu, and there was a lot to say about Aster.
One section between this individual and the Nijisanji English Live are reading, when I had a mental breakdown and went to Twitch, it was because Aster was saying like he wants to fly me out to Japan, saying weird actual S. X-pesting my friends. I went to management, they wouldn't even speak to him. I was really considering graduating. And of course meaning that they were considering leaving the company of Nijisanji English. This Nijisanji English Live are continuing on, but my manager talked me out of it. It feels gross to me, like I feel like I am hiding his behavior. Because it's not just me, it's many girls, a lot of my friends. When being asked why management had not taken action, this Nijisanji English Liver then replying, I don't know, but I assume they are scared to fire after what happened. And then citing bad PR, that being bad public relations, meaning this Nijisanji English Liver believes that Aster was not reprimanded because Nijisanji English did not want anything like this being made public, even if Aster was found to be in the wrong. This Nijisanji English Liver then finding out these communications had been forwarded to us and then directly reaching out. A call then being set up between us and this Nijisanji English Liver. This anonymous Nijisanji English Liver then telling us they were considering speaking to us about this subject regarding Aster Arcadia, calling this the fault of the company and the individual, that being Aster. Firstly describing that many Nijisanji English Livers within the branch simply stay away from Aster, especially within voice chat, either not wanting to be dragged into games or into uncomfortable conversations with this Nijisanji English Liver.
The results of that video are pretty devastating for Aster and Nijisanji. This is the sort of swan song for Aster, his last post, his pinned comment, and as you can see, he's getting absolutely blasted in the comments, ratioed in many cases, from people calling him a sex pest based on these allegations. And yeah, it just doesn't look good. People demanding answers. And as a result of that video from False ID, and I believe that is the primary reason for this public announcement from Nijisanji, they announced that they were launching a course of action, an independent third-party investigation into issues facing their company. This investigation will focus on the issues of sexual harassment and unauthorized information leakage to outside parties. Understand this. This is how scummy this company is. On the scales of importance, they weigh potential sexual harassment with people being a whistleblower. It's the same weight of importance for these people. And this investigation, by the way, has been going on for 6 months. We've heard nothing. Nothing. Twisty comes out with her own controversy. She's clearly gone within a few days. Aster is still there. He's in the sort of jailhouse for now. 6 months, no streams, but he's still there. And looking at the comments, these are the responses to that proposed investigation. Look at the sycophants. Look at these disgusting sycophants, these Niji sisters, appreciating the straightforward update. Thank you for taking actions and proper investigation. Thank you for the updates. I prefer hearing from the official investigation than aunties and drama tubers. Ayo, unironically Niji W. I'm happy you're going to be investigating Aster. Notice how like half of these people have to be blocked, by the way. Judge me by my enemies. But yeah, sycophants just like riding on Nijisanji for saying they're going to investigate not just a potential sexual harasser, but also a whistleblower. And 6 months later, there's been nothing that has come from it except for, ironically, the termination of the whistleblower. But False ID would release another video a couple days later talking about Aster Arcadia's sudden disappearance, but also some testimony from a former Nijisanji Ian Liver who always had bad vibes about Aster Arcadia.
So while before that statement from Nijisanji, after the release of our video on Thursday, this past Friday, Quinn Bennett would tweet out, all I'm saying is there's a reason the podcast only lasted 2 episodes. Quinn Bennett, formerly being Kyo Kaneko of Nijisanji English, a wavemate of Aster Arcadia, who alongside their other wavemate, Renzoto, had hosted only 2 episodes of the Moon Bros podcast. Quinn later taking to stream to clear things up.
Essentially, I was sent a video by someone a friend of mine who knows I had my personal issues with the person that the subject of the video was about. I can't really say names or be uber specific in any of this because I'm not trying to get sued, and I don't know if the messages in the video are real, to be completely honest with you. I have no idea. But I will say what I do know is real. So I already didn't like this person, not because of these allegations specifically. I didn't like them prior to this. Due to the way that me and them interacted, the way they treated me and some of my friends, we just weren't compatible friends, okay? But another reason I didn't like this person is because there were some stories going around and some things I saw where they behaved weird towards women, okay? Nothing criminal, nothing to the extent of what has recently come out, but I didn't like how they seemed kind of like they would like nag certain women about certain things or kind of put them in positions to feel guilty, or pounce on like newer members that were in the company and that didn't know about this behavior. Like they were not the most healthy when they interacted with women. And I'm going to be honest about that. I'm not going to cover it up. For lack of a better term, this is how I would imagine an incel would interact with women, right? That is like that's the easiest way I can explain it without giving specific examples and airing out specific people's business. It was like trying to watch someone that was very bad at interacting with women or didn't know an appropriate way to do it in an appropriate time, do it.
Yeah, not looking great. But anyways, long video. My apologies, but this is the swan song of today. Delulu making this recent post saying, finally, pew, with a little party popper here. Clearly lining up with the shutdown of all of their Nijisanji accounts. Clearly they're celebrating moving on from the company. And honestly, like, all of this stuff aside, you know, my criticisms of Delulu / Twisty, they need to get out of there. Okay, I think they'll do much better as an indie. I don't think they're a Doki Bird type person where they're going to go indie and like blow up, but I think they'll do much better as an indie. I think that's better for them. They're edgier. That's fine, right? Like, who cares? And their true fans probably like that stuff anyways. So this move away from Nijisanji is a good thing. I mean, they even questioned in the leaked Discord call why Nijisanji even hired them in the first place. And I think parting of the ways here is great. And if Delulu / Twisty has evidence against Aster or anyone at Nijisanji, they need to share it. They need to share it because something has to be held accountable here for an organization that is allegedly doing many things wrong. They have been no stranger to controversy over and over again. Don't even get me started about the whole Doki Bird / Selen controversy. That's just like disgusting, and we've talked about that infinite times. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.